All right, let's take a look now at creating an opportunity in Command. So once you've logged in, you can come over to the Opportunities tab on your dashboard, or you can come over to the icon on the left-hand side. It's the shaking hands for opportunities. Once you're in there, this is the first way that you can create an opportunity. So you can come in and do Create Opportunity in the upper right-hand corner. Click that. You'll see there's a required place for your market center. If you're on an expansion team or you work out of multiple market centers, you'll want to make sure that you select the market center that you expect to be paid the commission on the transaction from. It will ask for your team or your agent information, which should be auto-populated in there, and then what type of opportunity you're creating for this particular opportunity. So for this first one here, we'll do listing. The owner of the opportunity, so I am the one creating it. I am the agent that will be dealing with the transaction, so I have my name in there. The client you'll select from your contacts. In order to have an opportunity, you must have that contact already created. So I'm going to go ahead and I created a contact using my maiden name, so I'm going to throw that in there. This is where you would also put in the co-seller for the listing if you had another person involved. The opportunity name will auto-populate with the client's last name and the type of transaction. If you would like, you can also add in the address, just to help you keep them straight, what you're working on in the system. Sometimes that helps, so you can add that in. Any custom tags that you want to put on there, and then your estimated close date. You'll notice that none of this other stuff except the stage and the commission rate is actually required on here. That'll come into play with compliance later, but you should always try to put in as much data as you have, because eventually that will all build to help you with your statistics and your probability rates. So estimated close date, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say that they're hoping to move by September 30th. Estimating listing price, let's go ahead and say it's $250,000. And the commission rate on this listing, let's say it's 4%. And right now we are past the cultivating stage. We are past the appointment stage. We've already met. We know what's going on. We are now in the active stage. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then the opportunity stage of that phase is going to be prior to listing. So this would be if we were we already have the signed listing contract in place and we're ready to move forward, and we're kind of doing those things that we've already created in our checklist that need to be done prior to listing the home. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here, and you can see here it's assigned to me right now. So I'm going to hit Create Opportunity. And then you can see it will bring you to your opportunities page. If you already have put the listing into the MLS and into the KWLS, you can come up here to select from KWLS and you can pick whichever listing that is. I don't have anything put in here. This isn't a real opportunity right now. So you can see that my checklist here, it tells me the phase that I'm at right now is that prior to listing active stage. So I need to have the photography done, and I can go ahead and I can assign that. If I want to assign that to, let's say Chris is going to be doing it, I can choose his name right here, and I can have him set the due date of he needs to have that photography scheduled and completed by August 1st. So I can go ahead and put that in and say, let's just say let's say noon is when he needs to have it done. Hit OK, and it will then, Kelly will notify him of that task to be completed until he marks it off as completed. So that's in there and assigned. The staging the house if needed, I could come in and I could assign that to whichever contact I might be doing. If you have your stager in there, you can assign that to them. And you can do the due date on there as well. Same thing with all of your other tasks that you have on there. And as they are completed, you just check them off and you'll see eventually you'll get to 6 of 6. Or if you prefer not to see them at all, you can hit the hide completed items and they will disappear from your list as you go. So now that we've got that done, We can go ahead and close that, and you'll see that our checklist now has changed to 1 of 6 items complete. We can add in any information we want to about the commission going on, mortgage information, any of that stuff that we would like to put on there. If we want to create a net sheet in here, description, we could type in anything about the actual listing that we want to put in there. So if it's a neighbor who contacted us to sell their home before you can type in whatever notes you want to put in there about the transaction that might help you along the way. And then once you have that complete, you have now completed that opportunity. So you can go back to opportunity, and you can see that under the listing now, we show under active all of our active transactions that have been put in. So if we wanted to check that, this is the one that we just put in. So let's say we completed all 6 of those steps and we were actually ready to go on and publish that listing. The next thing we would do is drag and drop to the next phase of the process. So go ahead and click it, hold it, and bring it right on over to publish listing. At that point, then, we know that we have 9 checklist items that need to be completed there. So as the leader of the team, I could go in and assign those roles and those due dates so that we know everyone in our team command is on the same page with what needs to be done for each one of our listings. That's great for your admin and your transaction coordinator as well. So make sure that you're keeping up with moving those transactions as you go. Once those 9 are completed, you can come right over to showings, open houses, and then over to negotiations, so on. And you just keep going until you're closed through the transaction. And that takes care of inputting the actual opportunity and moving it through the different phases of the process.